We'll now call the meeting to order. Salute the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the roll call members.
Trustee Kim Champlain. Here. Trustee Greg Martin.
Here.
Trustee Stephen Southwick.
Here.
Trustee Amy Garrett. Here. Mayor Jeffrey Moore.
Here. Okay, we'll start with the presentation of the Halloween awards. Okay. This year, third place went to Michael Baker. Second place, Joe Patry. And third place to Wallace Blair.
That was first place.
That was first place, I'm sorry. First place.
The houses look great.
Yes, very nice.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, okay. There. Nice job. Thank you very much.
Good job.
There you go. Thanks for coming.
Good
night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Look forward to your Christmas one.
Okay.
Fine job.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Joe.
Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
I had to keep driving by. You had so many different things, Joe. It's cool.
Wait till you see Christmas.
Oh, looking forward to it. We'll be judging the 11th through the 18th.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Think about Christmas decorations.
Okay, I guess there's no one here to address the board, and Mike Tatro isn't here today. Okay, I'll move on to the mayor's report.
Oh, excuse me, Mayor, minutes.
Oh, did I miss that? Okay,
Excuse me.
everyone have a chance to review the minutes? So, I'd entertain a motion to accept the minutes as read.
So moved.
written.
Second.
You all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Let's see. There's a town meeting in Beekman Town next Wednesday on property tax laws pertaining to how they fund school districts. I probably won't be able to make that one, but if someone is interested in going, that it probably would be worthwhile if you have a different idea for funding that. They're looking for alternatives to property taxes, which I think everybody
Anything.
kind of looks at that. Anyway, if anybody wants to attend that, they can see me after the meeting or
Is this
set
Wednesday?
that up. Yep. If you do speak at this, they want you to bring your comments in writing so that they can have it after to review. I think we're all copied on that. The river truck project, we received our extension, and that we will have till
Secret meeting?
30th.
No.
No. Public. Come on in.
Now the 30th of June /06.
I listen to all your secrets.
We just received our medical insurance options for this year, and we'll be reviewing those. I've met with the local officials a couple of times. We're having another meeting this Wednesday. I'm hoping what we're looking for there, that the main thing to happen now would be the Empire Zone be created there, so that whoever, if they could locate a buyer, they would be able to get tax breaks to start up.
Go with why?
Yeah. And the security has all been approved, and they're all set to go on Horizon Heights whenever they decide to start building. I believe all the paperwork's in order now. Okay, that's all all I had. Is there any questions on these items? Okay, if not, we'll proceed to the reports of the trustees. Trustee Kim Champlain.
Okay, not too much. Attended the zoning board meeting. There's a couple of different things going on. A couple of applications went to the county, and we'll be having a public hearing on one of them regarding some signage on the 14th of December. Also on the Time Warner contract, I haven't heard anything from Rouse's Point or the town on getting together to work on that, so still waiting to hear something as to when they want to do that. Other than that, it's been very quiet. That's all I have.
Thanks, Kim. Are there any questions for Kim?
I have just an update on the sign.
Mhm.
We haven't got a letter out yet, but we did a little extra research, thanks to Mr. Dawson, pointing something out. And the school did have a variance in 1994. And Mike said that, or Code Officer Tatro said that if there was one done previously, it follows the property. So the sign, there's no problem with the sign.
Wonderful.
Good.
So nothing needs to go to the county
No,
now,
no.
so it's done.
Right.
Wonderful.
Donated.
Really?
Yep.
Who donated?
DSOs.
Very good.
Thanks, Donna.
Thanks, Kim. Trustee Greg Martin.
Attended a meeting with Melissa McManus on this, on some grant writing information and some help that she was offering. Steve, Woody, and Juanita and I attended that. It was interesting because there's a lot of information out there, a lot of money, I think, a lot of ways to do this, and examine those. There's a Shared Services Committee meeting on Thursday. Mr. Southwick is going to attend, I hope.
Yes.
Have parents night at school with the town, the village, or Rouse's Point. We have to address this offer by Betty Little, is it by the 5th?
December 5th, yeah.
December 5th, for a grant for an engineering study. Is that, should it be engineering or should it be planning? That's one of my
I don't, it
questions.
wasn't specified. We need to drill down to that,
Okay.
that meeting.
We'll skip over the lesson up here. I'd like to congratulate the winners of the recent town election. Look forward to working with them in the future. And that's it.
Okay, are there any questions for Greg? Okay, if now we'll proceed with the report of Trustee Steve Southwick.
I'll just add a few things to what Greg mentioned that came out of that meeting with Melissa. I'd like to publicly thank Melissa for donating her time to meet with us. She brings a lot of history of the water and sewer monies and process that was undertaken in order to get the plant in place. And she gave us a lot of good ideas. She mentioned a study that was done by a John McDonald engineering firm for the village that we can look at as a guide. The other thing I wanted to mention is she encouraged us to pursue working with the IDA, the Economic Development Corp, locally to try to help find money to subsidize any work that we may do with regard to a potential water tank. Because that's what we told her is our focus, is to try to secure a grant or low-interest loan in order to update our water supply through a tank. That's really all I have. I've got a couple of things on hold in new business, but that's all I have right now. If anybody has any questions.
If there are any questions, thanks, Steve. Report of Trustee Amy Garrett.
We held the Halloween party for the towns, and it was great. We had about 60 kids show up, probably a little bit more than that. It was really cute, and the kids were great. And McDonald's generously donated the beverage for us in the cups, and Dunkin' Donuts donated donuts for the event. We had a whole table filled. And Kitty Drugs, a whole shopping cart full of candy to give out to the kids for prizes and stuff. So thank you for your support, and as you guys go into these establishments, please thank them for not even hesitating to come forward. And also thank you to Mary Freeman, who helped me run the event. So it was very helpful. And also thank you to our Mayor Moore and his wife, who were the judges for the Halloween costume. So it was really cute. And the kids had a great time, and we will most likely make this a continual tradition in the town. It really worked out well. Then we had the Halloween decorating contest, and you've already heard the results of that. So I want to announce the Christmas decorating contest will be judged between December 11th and December 18th. So please have your house ready by the 11th. Somewhere in that week, we'll be around to determine who the winner is, because people like to come by, especially the Christmas ones, and see who the winners were. And next year for the Halloween, we'll announce it in September, so it's earlier, so people can see what it looks like, because people tear that down the very next day. They don't keep it up very long to get ready for Thanksgiving. Also, I have received, I have 3 volunteers so far that are willing to help out people who need to get to either Rouse's Point to go grocery shopping or down to Plattsburgh. So if you call me at home, this is a personal thing, this is not village run. My number is 298-2829, and you can call me and set up rides for going to the grocery store if you need it. We'll be happy to help you out. And that's it for me.
Thanks, Amy. Are there any questions for Amy?
These rides are mostly for the senior citizens.
Senior citizens, yeah, that need the assistance, or if there's someone else that just really needs the help, you know, we're there to help. So we get our grocery store.
I could add something to that too. I had a chance to be in the building, and they've got the place completely gutted. The footers have been dug to start the process of adding the addition. And
The
they're moving
electrician's
forward.
been there.
Yep. It looks,
Exciting.
the new date looks April 26th is what the contractor told me. So,
Up there.
yeah.
That's too far away.
Well, want to make sure you get good information.
Thank you. Good to know.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Just to take a little break here, was there any public comment?
Not right now, later on, sir.
Well, usually we have it at the beginning of the meeting if we're...
Oh, I gotta wait for the other guy to come. sir.
Oh, okay. All right, well, we'll make sure you get some time.
Well, I'll make sure I get the time.
Okay, there you go. Okay, we'll have the report of the clerk treasurer.
The revenue and expense report have been copied for the board. And I have one more comment. Terry Yule from the Environmental Facilities Corporation that came up and met with Woody and I. You were here, Rachel? He wants to set up a meeting to come and meet with possibly the mayor and somebody from the village board to let us know exactly what grants are out there for small cities. And he also believes that if we go with the town on doing the shared water, like the water service on South Street and everything, that it'll bring our score up high enough where we will get grant money.
Okay, what was the date on that?
I
Oh, he
haven't,
isn't.
no,
Give us
he
one
he
yet.
wants me to call him to let him know, he said possibly within the next week or so. This is something that needs to be in by April 1st, but the sooner you start, we can tell what is out there.
How does that tie in with what Melissa was talking about with regard to, I can't think of the form, intermunicipal?
Yeah, that's,
Agreement?
Intermunicipal application.
Sounds hand in hand to me, from my
yeah,
understanding.
if you
Okay.
work with the town, or if the town works with us, whichever, then our scores, he believes, will be high enough to qualify for some of.
Okay.
And the higher our scores get in this
Right.
book, the more grant money
Yeah.
will apply, and
Right.
that's what the grant writers were talking about,
Mhm.
you know, to get better scoring, to guarantee you some money.
A good shot at it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can meet the following week after Thanksgiving.
This way you'll already have your meeting with the
Yes.
shared services too.
Mhm.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks,
In the
Lonnie.
evening, is that, if I,
It's better for us, I mean,
okay, I told him I'd
If
just
possible.
touch base with him tomorrow as to yes, everybody's interested in meeting with him.
Will this be a total board or just yourself and one other trustee,
I think we have to do it that way.
Mhm.
mayor and one trustee?
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Juanita. Now entertain a motion to pay the warrant.
I have two that need to be added
To
To
the
the
warrant
warrant.
or purchase
for,
order?
for the payment. Two invoices to add.
Oh.
One is for Walmart for $7.50. $7.50.
It's cost us more than that to go there.
No, I went down anyway.
Oh, okay.
And the other one is for Staples, there's three invoices, one for $236.67, one for $93.80, one for $29.99, for a total of $360.46.
And what is that, because it's over the limit? 360.46? You said?
Yeah, $360.46.
And what was all that for?
There was miscellaneous office supplies.
For us or upstairs?
No, for us. One was for a phone for upstairs. One was for general supplies we needed here. And the last one was for the easel.
Okay.
And only because by the time we get their statement, we're gonna have late charges, so.
Yeah, no problem. Make motion?
Second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I just have a couple of questions. How do we determine, and this is obviously just policy, when we describe what's contained in the invoice, whether it's miscellaneous or actually identifying what's contained? Like Duck's Auto Parts, it just says miscellaneous parts.
There's only so much space that I can type in information there.
Okay,
So they're unlimited, and if there's 15 items, there's no way I can put everything.
okay.
So if you have a question, the bills are here, the physical bills, you can look at the bills.
Yeah, if there's any question about those ever, the best thing to do is come in here and like, John, I seen the bills, they're all itemized, what's on them.
Mhm.
You know, if you're curious about a particular bill.
Well, I just went for ease of looking
Yeah,
through this.
you know, this by necessity is
Mhm.
abbreviated.
Understand.
So miscellaneous is to assume it's many little pieces of things.
Filters,
Luggage and- yeah,
Okay.
baskets.
Yeah, it does. The other question I had was on plow parts. What plow parts did we buy? 'Cause we just bought a whole bunch of plow parts last winter.
Right, and this is for the repair of that angle plow that we have for the V plow, for the sidewalk plow.
Okay,
Yeah, and the parts that we purchased, we won't have to purchase for another 5 years.
okay. So it's not related to the large plow truck?
No, that's all set up with backup equipment should be for the complete winter.
Okay.
And then the angle blade or the V plow has been basically rebuilt.
And the expense for the Smith & Son diesel and switch relay, which vehicle was that for? I'm assuming it's a vehicle repair?
No, the switch relay was for the furnace.
$13.72?
That was, for the furnace.
That was for the furnace out back here.
Oh, it's good time. Fun. Thank you.
Is the door working okay, Woody? The overhead door?
So far, so good.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
We'll be a little more ecstatic, will you?
Well, it's part of my fault, because I asked him, my head was down.
Pretend.
I'll take the blame.
Okay, is there any further discussion on the warrant? If not, trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Martin,
Aye.
trustee Southwick,
Aye.
trustee Garrett,
Aye.
Mayor Moore, aye. We just have one purchase requisition that we need to act on this month. It's for latex gloves for $84. I would entertain a motion to pay this purchase rec.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion?
This is mine.
Trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Martin,
Aye.
trustee Southwick,
Aye.
trustee Carey,
Aye. Signature, please.
trustee Moore, aye. Or, Mayor Moore.
Oh, and I did forget that I need an executive session for personnel. Quick, key.
Okay, well, you can bring that up at the end of the meeting.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, we set to go?
Ready to go.
Mr. Babby, fire away.
Mr. Chairman, board members, I represent the American Legion, This is down in the Mars, he's gonna tell you more about it. We're running into real trouble, and we're gonna ask for help from the village, not financial. We want to know if you can plow the driveway for us. That's not a private place, it's a public place, but he'll explain more if you, we appreciate it. But just for this winter, to help us out, we're thinking of closing it, and we don't wanna close it. But it's costing us money right now, the bingos are down and everything, you know, and we're trying to do our best to keep it open to help the senior citizens and all that. So, I thank you, and I'll turn this over to Mr. Morris.
I've made a list of different things that the Legion helps out with. First one is senior meals, which they serve around 60, 70 people. That's from Rouse's Point and Champlain. If we discontinue the Legion, they're going to have to go somewhere else. We have programs for Cub Scouts, boys and girls, that are held there. If we have no more Legion, they're going to have to go somewhere else. The WICS program takes care of a lot of children, especially the very young. If the Legion is not there, they're going to have to look for another place to go to. Flu shot programs are held at the Legion each year. They're going to have to find someplace else too. The shelter for American Red Cross. If it's not there, they're going to have to go somewhere else. Alcohol's Anonymous. It's held there every week. If we're not there, they're going to have to go somewhere else. Boys State, an oratorical contest at the schools. The Legion is not working. We will not be able to have that. U.S. Customs have meetings up there. They're not going to be able to have them up there. They're going to have to find somewhere else. And mainly, it's a veterans meetings place. And we'd like to continue it as such. We'll be happy to take any help that you can give us. If you have any suggestions of how we can make money, because the bingos are not doing it. We're losing out with the bingos. People are just not coming out for bingos any longer. We need another source of income, what we really need. And we asked around among the members, and they don't seem to have the answer, so we're coming to you. You're more business-wise probably than we are, and we'd like to have your help if you can help us. And that's the main thing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I know all those things you mentioned and more. I mean, the Legion has been part of the Champlain for many years now.
70 years.
You guys do a great service to everyone. And we'll have to look into what exactly we can do, but we'll do anything we can to
It's
help you.
mostly, excuse me, it's mostly the plowing, that's all we want done for the winter. That's cost us a small fortune. I figure if they could just run into a couple of streets, that's all that matters.
Well, whatever we can do, I mean, we'll have to look into what we legally can and can't do, but I agree with you, your suggestion, there may be something that, you know, the village can do to help you, and anything we can, we will.
Thank you very much if you can.
I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate what you mentioned. I mean, there's a lot of groups have held meetings in your building, and it's proved to be very useful. We don't have many meeting places around here, and you guys have been very generous for letting other people use your building. And not to mention the service that you've all done for us. So, we're appreciative of that, for sure.
If you get any answer, could you let Al Strike know about it?
We sure can.
Notify him, you don't have to notify us, just let Alpha Strike know about what you can do.
How long do you think it takes to plow the driveway in there?
Just go and sweep it, that's it, we don't care, it's just one side.
Probably less than an hour anyway. half an hour.
Less than that, he would know more about it than I really don't. And we only ask you to do it Thursday on the other side, we only want one side done.
Okay.
The front side, and on Thursday we ask you to just do the other side. just so they can come in and get out, that's all we want, you know. I could solve the problem by giving the keys to the truck and I go up there and park myself, but. Well, we certainly thank you, Mr. Chairman, and anything you can do, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you,
Well,
both.
thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Thanks for
coming.
coming.
You behave, is this guy behaving himself?
Trying.
He tries.
We have to keep
Thank you
track of
again, Doc.
money.
Thank you.
There you go.
Don't we already do the library as well?
Yes, we do.
I mean, obviously we check with Jim Peeble, but
Yeah, well, we'll check into it. I mean, I hate
no
to
big deal.
get into a discussion about it at the moment because, you know, until we find out what we can do. But I really think we all should personally look at what we might be able to do to help these guys out because they've done quite a service to the community.
Mhm. Definitely.
Okay. I'll have the report of the superintendent.
Well, first off, does anybody have any questions concerning the work report?
What do you, October 27th, the generator at the waterworks will not support both distribution pumps and the ball pump at the same time. How can we rectify that? How can we as a board?
I think we're going to by replacing one of the pumps shortly. A few months back, we ordered a new pump. I think it's a motor problem that's drawing too many cycles on the startup. The generator's putting out the proper output according to the technician from Champlain. I think that's going to correct the problem.
Okay. How about the lift station?
The lift station, the town lift station?
Yeah.
That's, it's been flushed. We're awaiting a new thermostat to put in the generator itself.
Okay. And we're responsible for that repair?
And we'll be reimbursed for the parts. As part of the water contract with the town.
Mr. Laporte, Moore Street sewer problems, are they okay? Or
I spoke to him this afternoon and everything seems to be working fine. He hasn't experienced the problems he had in the past week. We just had another problem on Church Street this evening. The magnetic locator that was approved to be repaired, I received a phone call today. It's so old they cannot even find a circuit board to put in it. They don't make the circuit board anymore. The machine is approximately 23 years old. I'm looking at 2 or 3 different pipe locators. Unfortunately, they're not cheap. There's a couple out there that both are a magnetic locator and a signal sending device to trace water and sewer pipes, electrical lines. They run anywhere from $1,800 to $2,300. I want to get some samples to look at them and see how they do. I don't want to just buy something based on a catalog or a salesman saying it's a wonderful machine. So,
this company doesn't have any used equipment to take in and refurbish?
I've called Pollard today, but they didn't call me back. They do have some used equipment, but the person that was involved with the used equipment is out of town. The contractor for Tremblay's siding has never called me back. I'm going to have somebody else do it within the next 2 weeks. So that'll be no longer a problem for us.
Have you had a chance to update her on that?
I haven't seen her recently, but I will make it a point to see her in the morning tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
GSA is repairing the manholes. I think this was due to the fact that we informed them that we're monitoring the I&I flow coming from their manholes. They got really excited and decided to repair them. They also called and asked whether the water bills were consistent for the last 4 years. They haven't changed. And I wasn't here. Donna advised them that we can't read the meter because of the way it's set up. So they've been estimated. I haven't received any feedback on it, but I found information talking to them back since, I think it was June or July of 2001, that they were notified that we can't read the meters. So I'm just waiting to hear from them again.
Why is this? Refresh me, why can't we read the meters?
The top of the manhole is here, and the top of the meter, so you can read the numbers on it, is here. But the hole is on this end.
Okay, so is it their responsibility to fix that?
It was, yeah, when it was moved, it wasn't installed properly, so it could be read.
Well, we will have a month's worth of data at the end of this month, and we'll be able to bill with the effluent discharge. Will tell us how much water they've used, so we'll have an accurate billing for the next cycle.
The only thing, we'll have to subtract what duty-free uses for water, which is going to be insignificant compared to what was coming through there when we installed it. I'd like to see if we could schedule another pickup day, since the leaves didn't fall off the tree until the last 2 weeks. Past 2 weeks. I'd like to do it next Monday.
It's a good idea, Woody.
Yeah.
We could put a notice in the paper to advise the public. The leaves were stubborn this year.
That's a good thing. A rarity, accepted.
The mayor requested a list of what licenses and certifications we needed. I've copied you all with that. And I have an idea for a snow plowing and on-call list. I would like you to take a look at it and, you can ask me questions and see what you think of the idea. I'm trying to use the manpower as best we can. Spread the work for the least amount of money.
That's a great idea. And then obviously when we have a major storm, adjust.
Okay, are there any questions for Woody on his report?
I was just gonna say, Woody, that it looks like your rink or ice surface is gonna be level this year to work with it more effectively.
They work diligently. They use transits and strings and posts, and it's now all bermed.
Right.
So then we just have to weed whack the berm in the summer. And the kids will have a place to wreck their bicycles.
The patching work looks good as well. Different locations in the village. Notice that as well.
And I'm sure I forgot 6 things to put on my list. If there's any questions with that snow plowing idea?
So it's a trial basis, so you're gonna make some adjustments anyway as we move along.
Yes, we'll reevaluate it by the next board meeting and see how it works.
And I really like this form,
I love the form.
So it helps you with the maintenance and, keeping up with the equipment and expenses and stuff.
Well, we kind of, in the past, when I've looked at the past budgets, we kind of just shoot from the hip on snow removal. And snow removal doesn't entail just plowing streets, but it also means cleaning the sides of the streets on Church Street and various areas, so we need to get an accurate figure for that.
And the cost of fuel going up.
Actually, it's coming down.
Yeah,
Good.
it is exciting.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Woody. Okay, we move to correspondence.
Okay, we got correspondence from the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historical Preservation regarding approved amendment extending ending date of the River Park project.
Yeehaw.
Correspondence from New York State DOT regarding the CHIPS reimbursement. Correspondence to Greg Fleming regarding the Horizon Heights site plans. Notice regarding CPR holiday train arriving at 11:30 on December 2nd at the D&H Railroad Station in Rogers Point.
That's a neat thing.
Correspondence to Brian Pelkey, Rogers Point Public Works Supervisor regarding the purchase of our 1989 International plow truck with stainless steel standard. Correspondence from Robert Keeber, Superintendent of Northeastern Clinton Central School regarding water and sewer rates for their 2006-2007 budget. Correspondence from Attorney Keeble regarding Catherine Zweer's property, 1169 Route 9 Main Street. Correspondence from Rainy Ridge Repair regarding water meter pits clarification and a response from Superintendent Kissel.
Okay. Under old business, grant writers, we're still in the process of finding out what we might need to do there. So I think we're getting closer though to what we're starting to actually actively seek grants as soon as we find out what's out there and available.
And should we tell these people to keep holding, that we're still pursuing this?
Yeah, we're just,
We're getting
we're just
regular
not,
calls
yeah, we're just
from the grant
not at
writers.
the point where we know where we'll be able to go with this. I mean, we don't wanna pursue a grant for
Right.
something that we have no chance of getting.
Well, the
Given
gentleman
what's
that
out
we
there.
met with concerning getting the ratings built in and out there, they said to get out there and pursue a grant writer. You gotta have one in tow when we get this in place so they can start writing. You have a much better chance of getting the grant.
Yeah, I think we're getting much closer to that now.
Okay, I'll give them a call.
Trombley siding, we had somebody lined up and I guess they didn't wanna do it now, so we're trying to line up another contractor to do that. We already discussed the water meter and manholes. Parks grant, we already covered that. Time Warner Cable franchise, has anybody from the village of Rouse's Point or the town gotten back to us on that yet, or?
I haven't heard a thing.
Okay.
Do you know who's working on it in town or Rouse's Point?
Jules Tran was
Jules?
from the town. And George, George
Rivers.
and Phil were village manager were working on it, on the village's side.
And who, Phil who?
And I apologize, I can't
Or
remember.
Harnwell.
Well, maybe, Juanita, you could give them a call and ask them if, you know, they would wanna meet sometime on this.
Okay.
It's a good idea, I think that would help the process.
Yeah, I think we need to get in touch with each other and find out when, you know, we should set up some kind of a meeting at some point.
Well, I was under the assumption that they were working on getting together a joint meeting.
Well,
That,
I wondered, it's been a while.
well, yeah, it's been like 2 months.
So we should probably check.
Trying to get through that book.
In the village justice position, we're still awaiting legal advice. Okay, under new business, would at this time entertain a motion to change the payroll work week from Monday at 00 hours to Sunday at 2400 hours to be more in line with the rest of the world?
I'll make that motion.
You have a second? Is there any discussion?
Is it now Tuesday? Tuesday to Monday?
Wednesday to Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday to Tuesday?
All right, and we're doing Monday to Sunday or Sunday to Saturday? Monday to Sunday?
Well, it's actually Sunday midnight to Sunday midnight.
Okay.
It'll follow exactly a calendar week. Okay, if there's no further discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Did everyone get a chance to review these fee increases for the permits in the village of Champlain? I got a chance to look over there. None of them are substantial, but they do bring us a little closer to the times. I guess we haven't looked at these in several years.
I remember Mike mentioning that this would bring uniformity to charges in the area as well.
Okay, let's entertain a motion to accept his suggested fee changes.
So moved.
In a second,
Second.
any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
That'll take effect as of tonight's meeting.
Well, it's, whenever it fits for you guys to do that, I mean, you know, if you can't do it for this week, then I would guess you would have to start next week. There may be a little bit of a hiccup the first week as far as the days, but after that, it'll all fit into place.
Okay.
We'll see how good you are.
Should we attach a date though in the motion? Probably should.
You wanna do it as effective as of today. I don't, if there's an outstanding building permit on his desk, obviously we'll take that in consideration, but anything date stamp after
Tomorrow,
tonight will
right.
go on, and rights will
Okay.
go into effect.
So add that to the motion.
Okay.
Just add that, yeah.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, we need to transfer $10,000 from the fund balance A909 to street maintenance equipment A5110.2 to purchase the truck sander from Rouse's Point.
So moved?
A second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I'll be here tomorrow.
No, Rouse's Point wants to make sure their new truck doesn't have any bugs and glitches.
Okay.
Well, they're gonna pay rent to us until then.
Yeah. Say that.
Don't say that.
Okay, trustee Trombley,
Aye.
trustee Martin,
Aye.
trustee Southwick,
Aye.
trustee Garrett,
Aye.
Mayor Moore, aye. Okay, I need to read the election notice for 2006. Whereas the next village election for office in the village of Champlain, New York will be held on March 21st, 2006. Whereas the Board of Trustees of said village must designate by resolution and publish offices which are to be filled at such election and the terms thereof. Then be it therefore resolved that the Board of Trustees of this village has determined that the following offices to be filled and voted thereupon, with the terms of offices respectively noted as trustee term 2 years, trustee term 2 years, justice term 4 years. Be it further resolved that as required by section 15-104-3A of the village election law, notice of said village election be given at least 4 months prior to said election date, and that the offices to be voted upon at said election be likewise included in said notice. So I entertain a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
No discussion?
No.
Ask a question?
Yes.
Now, if we go ahead and do this, does this mean we cannot then abolish it? Justice thinks now it's going to be the 4 months?
Well, we don't have a clear decision on that. They think it can be done.
Can we put it with the
He will say-
stipulation that if we are able to do it, that,
Well, this has to go in as such.
It won't have any effect on the abolishing the position.
Okay.
If we have
I
a
call my
referendum
Oh, okay.
before the election.
okay,
But that would
just
be
one
a
check.
separate.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. And back to, is there any further questions? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, now we have, at this time I would entertain a motion to advance $250 to Michael Rock for water class. Would you like to make that
I
motion?
make a motion.
Second?
Second?
Okay, any discussion?
Why do we need to advance it? Why can't we just pay it for them?
Well,
This is for travel.
Just travel and food.
And lodging.
Okay.
in
I got
most
you.
instances, if somebody would have money but he didn't
I thought
have
it
it,
was,
he'll have to give us all receipts
Right.
and we'll,
I thought it was.
tally up what it needs, yeah.
I assumed that it was for
Tuition.
something
course.
predetermined. This is not predetermined. We have to balance out with what he spends versus what we advance him. I understand.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, I have to read a resolution for Ralph Gilpin. Whereas Ralph Gilpin has given notice that he will not seek re-election as town clerk, and he will end his public service to the area residents. And whereas Ralph Gilpin has served the residents of the area communities for more than 46 years in the positions of license clerk, town clerk, and sole assessor. And whereas Ralph Gilpin's many years of dedicated and faithful service speaks volumes about his concern for the well-being of the citizens of all the communities. And whereas Ralph Gilpin's invaluable knowledge and wisdom will be greatly missed by all members of our communities, now therefore be it resolved that the Village of Champlain Board of Trustees and staff thank Ralph Gilpin for his accomplishments and community spirit, and wish him all the best in his retirement. And I would like to make that motion and have it seconded by all the trustees.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, Ralph. Okay. Okay, I have appointed Larry Sorrell to the zoning board to fill the open position. I would entertain a motion at this time to approve Larry Sorrell to the zoning board.
So moved?
Second?
Second. Third.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. We have a water and sewer billing adjustment to make for bill B2790 and B2800. There was no water used, and somehow or other we came up with a bill for them. This is to correct that.
Make a
So-
motion?
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Still thinking about supper.
I know, man.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, at this time, Amy, what was the purpose of your,
Personnel.
I have one other before we do that.
Yeah.
okay,
Did everybody see the documentation on the sludge press pricing from
oh, I'm sorry, I should have wanted to bring that up on
we
your.
have new business?
Yeah, well, I can tell you what happened there. You know, we reviewed that, and it looks like their prices are a little high. It doesn't make sense to buy a 20-year-old press. It's gonna cost us that much to put in service.
Okay.
So that's something that we need to look at, like, for potential grant funding, or how we might
Is that-
incorporate that type of a piece of equipment. Woody's, you know, looking at various vendors to try to identify somebody that could do that. He's already got a quote on a new one from one place, and it was, I think, $133,000, and that's completely installed. This quote here, we would have had to move it. We would have had to pay for all parts that they would have needed to replace. You know, I think it would have gotten into half the price of a new one, if not more.
And it's non-negotiable. I mean, we know the condition of that press from what we were told by Brian and his crew, and how much help they would be in the process if we could have done an intermunicipal thing. And that's sewage over the dam, but
Way over.
So to speak.
I could resist that, sorry.
That's gross.
But what I was saying
If we were to
is,
purchase it based on their quotes, it is 4 times what they paid for it.
well, that's what I'm saying. They haven't moved it yet, it's still sitting in Ross's Point, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
Why don't we come up with a counteroffer and say, hey, listen, this is
Because that
somewhat
bid was
unreasonable?
accepted.
By who?
Oh, a counteroffer to his company.
Yeah.
Oh,
Say, you know, would you consider a counteroffer? I'm just throwing that out there, because I
It
didn't
was-
see us
it was-
spend
it was-
$133,000.
It was $15,000 just for the press. And it was $25,000 for the installation.
That's their quote.
That's their quote.
Right.
Excuse me.
they'd have to be willing to way.
I just don't want to see this go by and then have us spend $130,000, $140,000 on something we could have gotten for, that would have lasted, i.e., like the sander truck that we're buying, as an interim stopgap measure until we can see where we're going.
Well, the only catch with that, if we did purchase that, just the unit, there are, I know I went and looked at it, there's a lot of things that need to be replaced on it.
Okay.
It's definitely not ready to plug in and go.
Okay. I didn't know that.
We could, we could make another offer to them, but, it's looking like that one might have passed us by. But it doesn't necessarily mean we have to buy a new one. There may be other places out there that
That's
have
just one
used ones.
company that I
It's just one
found.
company that does this.
There's
so-
some others that haven't, returned my calls or emails.
Okay,
And there's a couple in New York State that are constantly moving presses.
okay.
And there
People-
is a
people are-
lease option also that we haven't looked into yet, but that is out there.
On a
So-
new one,
Yes.
right.
So I don't know, I think we should do a little more investigating. I mean, if it's still out there, we could mention that, but.
Just an idea that it's there and.
Well, Brian offered a lot of help in getting it set up,
I know,
transported and set up in the building down here, which would have been reasonable for us. But if it's gonna cost us,
I don't know the mechanics of it either. I don't wanna even hint that I do.
There's-
You guys would know a lot more about that than I do.
There's all kinds of bearings and pressure wheels and gauges. And now that it's been sitting for, what, 5 months? Who knows what
At
sees,
least,
who knows what sees up, because it's sitting in cold storage.
Okay.
I'm just surprised this company hasn't
Well,
done something with it.
and they did take a long time to get back to us. It was 2 months between the time we requested 3 months. Which is even worse. So, when would these people have got here to install this thing for us?
Right.
I mean, or if not install it, to sell it to us, I don't know. That was one we just missed.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, is there any other new business? Okay, Amy, could you be more specific than personnel? Is it a disciplinary or
No,
term of
no,
employment?
things that have
Term of
come up.
employment?
Yes, questions
Question.
that they wanted to address tonight, so I said I'd bring it up.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what it was for.
To bring up some issues that employees have come to me with that wanted to be addressed to the board.
Okay, I guess it's some conditions of employment issues.
You know,
Okay, I'll make a motion, Amy?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Um,
Okay, we'll go into recess for executive session.